Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Lim World of Darkness. This is another scene for the Changeling, the Dreaming Venue. General Viscount Valarius is up for the position of Count, and to do this, he basically needs to fulfill a set of tasks given to him by Duke Larries of the Duchy of Sils, the Dreaming of Rhode Island. Last month, it was negotiations with a foreign hostile party. But this month is going to be something a little bit trickier. Outside threats are one thing, but inside strife is trickier because there's usually not a perfectly right answer. So we will begin tonight with Valarius having been summoned back to the freehold of Sea Spray. This is Duke Larry's favorite freehold in the collection of 3. And you're going to be coming up, it's going to be nighttime everywhere, so you see boats and so forth that are coming and going very slowly. You can basically see it all lit through lanterns, and you come up to the courtyard that leads up to the church where you know that Duke Larry's has his office, and everything looks as it should be, except for you're going to notice that there are more guards, and you'll see people that have individual blazons on, and you'll see that there are variations on the Fiona sigil. Anyway, so you go in, and Tish will be waiting for you. Why, hello there, Valarius, my lord.
Hello, Tish. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just great. How about you?
Wonderful. Is Larry's around?
Oh, yes, I think so. Oh, that's right. You wanted to see him. Come with me.
Okie dokie.
And she holds your hand and walks away from the commotion of the tavern, and you'll be led upstairs. You're familiar with this. The gold staircase, everything covered in gold and jewels and pearls. And you're going to see today Duke Larry's is up there, and he's sitting at what looks like an office desk that you are sure was not there last time. Last time you're pretty sure a bathtub was there. But this time it's a desk, and he has maps, tons and tons and tons of different maps, and you will see that he's got several volumes of the Book of Peerage in front of him. And if you're not sure what the Book of Peerage is, it's basically something that came into fashion at the end of the 15th, early 16th century, where people would just catalog noble houses and their genealogy. He's got that open. He's got some diagrams open that come from the books, and he just looks like this most banal thing ever. However, he's got company. He's got a slua and another she that look very intent and are talking to him. He looks up and greets you with a smile, and yes, he is wearing those sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Valarius, come on in, just in time.
Valarius will give a nod and walk into the room.
Everybody, I'm sure you know who Viscount Valarius is. Um, he is filling in where Mannix cannot. And the two of them, look at you, and one of them nods their head, and the other one kind of makes a little bit of a curtsy in her chair, best she can, and he will introduce the two of them as Baroness Matilda, the Slua,
Hmm.
and Baron Leon of House Fiona. They're both Fiona.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Valerius, you don't have to say anything right now, but I called you here today because, well, here's my issue. You might have noticed that this duchy is not one collective large landmass. You've noticed that, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's a series of islands, and that has worked pretty well for us. Excuse me 1 second, I need to plug this in.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's broken up has actually worked quite well for us. It means that ships can get in, and it's really made us a valuable trading area in the Dreaming and a connection to the sea courts. However, it also means that it's hard to quantify what land belongs to whom. And the two of them, Baroness Matilda and Baron Leon, look very intently on Duke Larry's, like they're trying to read something from him, but his
Can I have a
sunglasses.
perception empathy?
Okay, go ahead. Are
Uh,
you using it on them or him?
Basically, if I was trying to gauge like the tension in the room,
Okay, sure.
can you roll me 5 dice?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's quite a lot of tension. Um, Duke Larry, as you might have guessed, is a little inwardly stressed and peeved,
Mm-hmm.
but he's trying to keep a happy face on. Matilda is a little anxious, and Leon is irked.
Okay.
But yeah, it's tense. Yes, basically, we have an island that until now has not been of especially great interest to either party. We've certainly got several other islands that can serve as stopping points and anchor points if the ships need it. But it's come to our attention that this island is crawling with spiders, and not just any spiders, ones that spin spider silk. It makes the finest chimerical clothing,
I'm aware.
and it's not normally found just in the near Dreaming like that. There's a huge nest of them. The island has been neglected for some time, and it's just overrun with them. It would mean that whichever of my barons held claim over this, um, it would mean that it would be a lot of the pressure from them, from tithing, would be taken off their hands. And I don't want to divide up this land because it's not really the land that needs dividing, it's the spiders, and they're impossible to quantify.
Okay.
So many chimera are, we're not even sure how many are on there right now, but that number might switch from day to day depending on what the dreaming situation is. Um, and at this point, at this lull in conversation, Your Grace, if I may. Yes, Baron Leon? Um, Valarius. My family has had ties to this land since we were true fae. We came over here on the boats with some Vikings, with House of Scene, a very long time ago. When we came back in the 60s, we instantly went back to this land. By all rights, any new land that's discovered here should go back to me. It's what the Dreaming wants. And you hear just the smallest intake, sharp intake of breath come from the Slua.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't say anything. And Duke Larry's goes, yes, you've made that point. You made us all look through the book. We don't doubt that your family has strong ties to this land. However, the island is closer to Baroness Matilda's land, the barony of Hutchinson. Uh, Baron Leon is from Portsmouth, the third barony in this duchy. So, Valarius, I'm going
Yes.
to be quite frank with you. This is a headache. Whatever solution I come up with will not be the right answer that will make everybody happy. There's no way to divide it equally. So, I want you to solve this for me.
I have a proposition if both of you would be able to hear me out, which I believe will save each of us some heartache and a lot of problems. It's a question
Pair
of
of us look at each other like, what on earth? And, oh, okay. What is your proposition?
my proposition would be this. It's not the question of the spiders or the land itself, it's the spider silk and the amount of dross that would be drawn from this, correct?
No, it's a question of the spiders.
The silk, right?
No, the actual spiders. We can get silk from there. We can even make our own clothing if we wanted to, but no. It's the spiders because perhaps we can breed them. Perhaps we can enchant them to do more for us. If we actually have the animals, the chimera, that's what's really valuable. Before then, we might come on to a great supply of spider silk that might be greatly discounted. We'd be able to trade that. But if we actually have the chimera, we can study more how this works because they're relatively unstudied. We just kind of find the nests and we've collected it before on hunts.
How much, as he looks to both of them, how many spiders would you both need to specifically be able to study?
We don't know.
Would this be more of an observation or more of a um, proclaiming of the chimera?
Well, we would want to claim the chimera. We want to make sure, first off, that they aren't going to leave this land, and it seems like they won't leave the island. They don't like the water. But the spiders are dangerous,
Hmm.
so it would be a great undertaking to get one to study, and it would take some time.
Not necessarily. These spiders, as I've encountered them before on a expedition to the deep dreaming,
Mm.
they are primarily nocturnal. So the spiders remain active during the night. Well, they're more so active during the day and active during the night. The night starts their sleep cycle.
Um, Matilda says that's very interesting. So they won't move at all during the day?
Absolutely not. I mean, if you were to disturb them, of course they'd wake up, but usually, if you can be rather cautious during the night, you could probably observe them.
Understood. But that's something that I would be more concerned about once I knew that the spiders were safely in my possession.
Um, may I be so bold? Once you retrieve the spiders, do you know how to specifically care for them?
At that, Leon says, "Do you?"
Um, a while ago, I procured a mission in order to fashion my own robes, and I went into the deep dreaming to procure some spider silk. So I know some things. Yes.
Well, I shall be sure to consult you once I have them. Valarius, you see my dilemma?
I see your dilemma. Uh, Give me a intelligence politics. I want to see if Lyrics is a traditionalist or progressive.
Well, think a little bit. You've seen a little bit of him already. What kind of vibe does he give you?
He gives me a vibe as more of a progressive.
Okay. What is your intelligence politics?
Uh, Intelligence of four and a politics of three.
Okay. Not bad. Okay. He is. He's more. He is more progressive. He's more. Kind of has to be. He deals with Idhene and Gallane and Thalane and stealing and unsealing on a daily basis. He is more of your mindset, of Morwen's mindset when it comes to things. But he's also good at making deals. And he can't see a way to make a good deal out of this. He knows that he will anger somebody, and he doesn't want somebody angered with him for the rest of his political career here on the duchy. He, as much stated, this is why it's getting farmed off to you, because it's
Mhm.
a hard decision.
Would a middleman, per se, a person who would be able to perhaps set up a market of some kind, and this way each person would be able to get a equal but reasonable share?
And both of them are talking once, but it's the slow with her scratchy voice and stuff. And her, when she stands up, her dresses kind of block Leon. It is a lot of bustles. She goes, "I want something to pass on to my children. I've only got 6 of them. They're going to grow up and they're going to want land." Um, I want it to outright be in my name. I don't want there to be any confusion, and I don't want some complicated middleman. New land of value was discovered. By rights, I would say that all this land truly belongs in my family. I don't think this is a hard decision.
I would have to, Matilda, Baroness,
Yes.
is this a is this the reason you want this land? Is from what I'm reading, from what you've told me, you want something to pass on to your children, right?
Since my husband went into the forgetting some 5 years ago, I have struggled. but I have been successful in managing my barony. I am aware, though, that I have a lot of children. I need to make sure that they are well provided for should I follow my husband's fate. It is not enough that I have Hutchinson. I want to be able to give them more, and perhaps this area in the dreaming is so rich in chimera because it has a balefire. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I know that it's valuable because it has these spiders that could keep my children going for a long while after I'm gone.
And as he turns to the Baron, you want this land because it is rightfully owned in your eyes because the dreaming proclaimed it, and
Of
it's belonged to.
course. Absolutely. Anything that's discovered here that has some value that my lord the Duke doesn't outright want, he says with deference. So apparently he's not a complete fool. He just has a chip on his shoulder. Um, yes, anything should just go to me. It's what the dreaming wants, anyways.
Well then, this is what I suggest as he turns to Duke Luris. It would seem there
Yes.
would be no way to specifically barter off this land without grievously offending a party here. So does my suggestion with matters of these, and we have seen precedent for this in many times, that each individual be given a quest, and that let the dreaming decide who will be worthy enough to take this land. A trial by quest. This way, it will not be disputed.
And Duke Larry's looks very tired and he goes, mm, so their seneschals are going to manage their baronies while they're gone?
Essentially, that's why there are retainers.
Yes, but what kind of quest are you thinking about? Is this going to take a long time?
The quest will be fitted and it will be an honorable class. It will be an honorable quest where each person will be able to not only show their skill in their management, but how much each person will be able to manage the situation.
No, what's the quest, though?
The quest would be that within 1 month's time, a month and a day, that each Fae would be able to venture to this island and learn as much as they can and make a statement and claim on why they will be able to manage this land to the best of their ability, why it should belong to them.
There's no combat or treasure. How does the dreaming decide?
The dreaming will be, how does the dreaming decide? It will be a kind of a, I believe the correct term is a fiore, where each person will be giving a set of clues and quizzes on how they will be able to deal with the situation.
Fiorais are for promotions. Viscount
Sometimes
Valarius. Uh, this does sound okay. It sort of sounds like you're suggesting a quest, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, you want them to venture to this island. When they're at the island, they're supposed to study it, but how do they know that they've completed the quest?
they will come back to the barony of Seafoam.
Okay. Sea spray, but go on.
Seaspray, sorry. And they will be a independent party that will listen to both of their claims and what they've gotten, and they will offer their solutions and plans, and the dreamer will decide.
Okay, solutions and plans to what? And who is the independent party, and how will the dreaming decide?
Hmm.
Okay, Valarius,
Mm-hmm.
this is a very hard choice. Um, if you become Count, you will have to deal with this. I had to deal with this. And as you can see, I still have to deal with this. It's miserable work. Don't don't make your decision right now. Give this a think. Go to the library. Consult with other people. Uh, Counts, dukes, your friends. Give it a think and come back to me. You see the problem, um, and this is stuff you will have to deal with.
Very well.
Okay then, Baroness, thank you for coming. And Baron Leon, thank you so much for all these books. I will make sure that Tish returns them to you at some point. Oh, excellent. I could just stop by her brothel and pick it up that way. Yes, yes, sure. I'll just drop it off at the brothel. Um, Valarius, will you join me for some lunch?
Sure.
Excellent. Okay. And at that, you see that the Boggins are escorting the Slua and the Fiona Shea out. And, it's all very polite and so forth. And at that, the desk turns into a set of stairs that lead straight down to the tavern. And Larry's grins and says, I use this all the time, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with a little bit of metamorphosis, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, the two of you go down, and it leads right up to the bar, where he orders two big pints of fairy mead. And he takes a seat and begins to drink. So, Valerius,
Yes.
well done with the mermaids. It seems like it's working out pretty well. Your system's been going on for about a week and a half now. And wouldn't you believe, not much has gone missing from our ships anymore.
Hmm. I'm glad.
So, yes, I submitted the recommendation for last month's. Um, we'll see how you do with this challenge. It was recommended that I try and give you some sort of challenge this month that's internal. We definitely have a lot of those. Actually, I would say that most of the problems are internal.
Understood.
Do you know that that giant actually tried to come by here?
Seriously.
Yeah, he can't swim though, so he only got about as far as his elbows before he decided to turn back and go back to the mainland.
Hmm.
Um,
That's good information.
it was an interesting day. Um, yeah, I think if he had gotten much further, don't know what I would have done. Might ask the mermaids for help.
The mermaid. What more have you learned about the mermaids? What they agreed to show you?
Oh, I have an invitation actually to go down and take a look at one of their cities. Apparently, they have one that's nearby. House Lorelei, I believe. Um, I keep on thinking about going down there. I just don't seem to have any time. Plus, I have a duel that I'm supposed to be engaging in.
Really? It's
Yes, it was made to me when I was perhaps a little bit tipsy and I wasn't supposed to be. So I kind of need to carry it out.
what kind of duel?
Well, do you know that Tish has a father?
Who's her father?
I don't know, some mortal. Anyways, I'll be dueling him.
But he's immortal.
Yes, he won't be hurt, don't worry.
All right.
Uh, I need to figure out how he's not going to be hurt. But I don't know, it's been a hell of a week. When this problem came to my desk, let me just say that I'm very glad you're a Viscount right now. And let's just say that they continue in that matter for some time.
Right.
And we'll say that Tish joins them a little bit, have some fun drinking together, and play some stupid games. And we will end the scene here.
All right.
Okay, anybody that
Oh,
watched, thanks for watching. This has been Changeling the Dreaming.